Hey, what's up guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to TRHD. Today I'm back with a new video. We have a brand new smartphone to review on my desk. It's Motorola's new smartphone, the Moto G6. Motorola has launched two new smartphones in India this month, the Moto G6 and the G6 Play. Today in this video, we'll be checking out the G6. The G6 is a better variant compared to the G6 Play and is also a bit expensive than that. We'll talk about the specs in a moment. Also, I was hoping Moto would launch the G6 Plus alongside these two phones, but that didn't happen. Maybe we have to wait a bit longer. Anyways, let's continue with our video. Now along with the phone, Motorola has also shipped me another box which I have no idea what's inside. It's definitely big in size but not that heavy. Let's just open it and see. Let's see what's under this note. Whoa, now that's a surprise. They sent me a special prop. It says my name with the G6 tagline. That is really cool. Thanks for this Motorola. I'll be placing it on my desk. So let's get started with the unboxing. The Moto G6 comes in this sort of box packing. The box looks nice and attractive. It has a black and green design going on. Let's check out the features of this phone. It's got a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus Max Vision IPS display. Comes with Snapdragon 450 octa-core processor, a 3000 mAh battery with turbo power charger, and has a 16 megapixel low light selfie camera. Now this is only for the Asia Pacific region. In the other regions you only get an 8 megapixel front camera. So these were the highlights of the phone. Now let me show you the pricing details. This is the 4+64GB model. The price on the box says 17,999, but it's available for around 15,999 on Amazon, and the 3+32GB base variant costs about 13,999. On opening the box, we have the Moto G6 at the top. I have the indigo black model. It's right now available only in one color. Let me take it out. So here is the Moto G6. This time Motorola has definitely stepped up their game in terms of design and the looks. We've got a beautiful 3D glass at the back which makes the phone look really premium. We'll check out the phone in a moment. First, let's see what else do we have in the box. We've got some documents here. Make sure to read them. You also get a SIM ejection tool, a turbo power charger, a USB Type-C cable, and you also get a pair of earphones with some extra ear tips. So these are all the items you got in the box. Now let's check out the Moto G6. The G6 has a new design with an updated look. The company has finally moved on to 18:9 display. It's got a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus Max Vision IPS display. At the bottom you've got the Motorola logo and a fingerprint reader below that. The fingerprint scanner is quite thin and can also be used for one-button navigation. And beside that you've got a microphone over here. At the top you've got an earpiece with the speaker built right in it. A 16 megapixel front camera, also has a LED selfie flash, and few sensors beside that. So that was our overview on the front. Now let's check out the back. The back of the phone is made of 3D contoured glass and produces these beautiful reflections in S-shaped pattern. I believe the back is made of Gorilla Glass, but I'm not sure which one as the company has not specified anything about that. You've got a Motorola logo here, and above that you've got the dual camera setup. Now the layout of these dual cameras look like a watch dial with these reflections. Out of them, one is a 12 megapixel f1.8 camera and the other one is a 5 megapixel camera. Below that you've got an LED flash. I really like the design of the phone. It looks premium for the price. At the top you've got a SIM card slot. It's not a hybrid one. It supports 2 nano SIMs plus a microSD card. And beside that you've got a secondary noise cancellation mic. On the right you've got a textured power button and a volume rocker above that. The quality of the buttons is nice. They feel tactile and clicky. There's nothing on the left, and at the bottom you have a USB Type-C port and a 3.5mm headphone jack. So that was our overview on the phone. Now talking about the comfort, it definitely feels comfortable to hold. Also not that heavy, weighs only 167 grams. All the buttons are easily accessible and the fingerprint scanner is also placed in a good position. One more thing I'd like to tell is, since the back of the phone is made of glass, it's very glossy and attracts fingerprints. And also it's really smooth, so there are chances of this phone slipping. That's why I would suggest you to get a good case for it. By the time it boots up, let's go through the specs. The Moto G6 has a 5.7-inch Full HD Plus Max Vision IPS display, comes with Snapdragon 450 octa-core CPU clocked at 1.8 GHz, has Adreno 506 GPU, has a 12+5 megapixel dual cameras at the back, and a 16 megapixel camera on the front with a selfie LED flash. It has a 3000 mAh battery, supports face unlock, and weighs about 167 grams. So the phone has finally booted up and I've also gone through the setup process. The Moto G6 has special features like the Moto Display. Moto Display wakes up the screen and gives you a glance on all the info and notifications whenever you approach the phone, just like this. It shows you the time, battery life, and also the notifications if you have any. It's quite a useful feature and I use it very much. I've also set up the fingerprint scanner on this phone. Let's see how fast it is. So as you can see, the fingerprint scanner is quite fast and accurate, unlocks the phone almost 90% of the time. And one more thing I like about this phone is you can lock and unlock the phone with the fingerprint reader. Long touching the fingerprint scanner will lock your phone. The G6 also has face unlock on it. Face unlock was working really well in bright lighting conditions. It was fast and accurate almost 80% of the time, but was struggling a bit in low light. So this is how the interface looks on it. Very similar to stock Android. You've got the Moto launcher on it. The UI feels buttery smooth. I've faced no lag so far. Swiping right brings Google Now. Let me show you the notifications panel. It runs on Android 8.0 Oreo and has a nearly stock Android experience. And as soon as you pull down the notifications panel, you can see the Dolby Audio quick toggle. Yes, the speakers on this phone are powered by Dolby Audio. It has a single front firing speaker. We'll have to see how the audio quality on it sounds like. Let's check out the settings app. So this is how the settings look like. The usual Android settings, nothing new. In the display settings, you've got the color mode where you can choose between standard and vibrant settings. I'm leaving it at default, which is vibrant. There's nothing else here. Let's check out the About phone. I've received no updates on this phone so far. As you can see, the Moto G6 runs on Android 8.0 Oreo. Here's the Easter egg. And the security patch it's running is April 2018. Now let's see how much storage is available on it. This is a 64GB model, and out of the box you get about 50GB of usable space. Since I've already installed few apps and games, we are left with 45GB of free space. Now let me show you the different Moto features that you get on this phone. All of them can be accessed through the Moto app. You have Moto Key, which stores all of your account details and gives you access to different websites and apps with just your fingerprint. Below that you have the Moto Actions, which include Chop Chop, Twist for quick capture and more. This time they've added a new feature called the Quick Screenshot, which is super handy. You also have one button nav where you can use only the fingerprint scanner to operate the phone. So these were the Moto Actions. Now I've already told you about the Moto display at the beginning of the video. In addition to that, you also have night display and attentive display. There's also Moto Voice feature, but that's in beta stage right now. I've tested it, but it was working only 50% of the time. So these are all the awesome Moto features on the G6. Now let's talk about the display. It's got a 5.5-inch Full HD Plus IPS 18:9 display, which Moto calls it as Max Vision display. The display quality is really good. The colors look rich and vibrant, the screen looks sharp, the white balance is perfect. It's a really good display for the price. Talking about the brightness, the screen is quite bright and easily viewable in outdoors. And the viewing angles were also decent. The picture looks the same no matter from which angle you view it. Let's check out the speaker quality. Let me play a music and see how the audio sounds like. The audio quality is very nice, it feels crisp and clear. You've got a lot of EQ settings over there which you can tweak to get the desired results. The distortion was also less even at max volume, and the audio output was also satisfactory. Now let's talk about the benchmarks. I've installed Antutu on it and ran benchmarks. It got a score of about 70,692, which is an average score for a phone of this price range. I felt they should have gone with a better processor considering the competition right now. And it's not a cheap phone also. But again, you don't need to worry about the scores that much. It can handle most of your tasks and games easily. On Geekbench 4, it got a single core score of 754 and a multi-core score of 4000. Let me also show you the list of available sensors on it. The G6 has a huge list of sensors. You've got everything you need. The company hasn't skipped anything. Now let's check out the gaming performance. Let's start with Asphalt 8. I'm playing the game at max graphics settings. The phone was handling the game very well. I faced no lags or stutters playing the game, but I'm not sure if it can handle graphic intensive games that smoothly. We'll just play PUBG and see how it performs. I'm playing this game at low graphic settings. Okay, the game is smooth and playable most of the time, but occasionally you can see some stutters and slight frame drops. It's time to jump into the camera section. Let me show you the camera app. Motorola has completely revamped the camera interface and added a lot of new fun modes. First, let's take a picture and see how fast the shutter is. You've got all the camera modes at the bottom here above the shutter button. Let me take a picture. Okay, that was fast. The Moto G6 also has landmark and object recognition. You can click this special button here to start that. It'll just take a picture, scan it, search the web, and gives you the nearest results. The company also said that they'll be integrating Google Lens into their camera app. That is really cool. I hope they do it soon. At the top, you've got HDR, flash, timer, active photos, and the camera modes. Here you've got both auto and full manual. The manual mode lets you adjust all the camera parameters like ISO, shutter speed, white balance, and more. Now let me show you some samples shot on this phone. The G6 has a 12+5 megapixel dual camera setup at the back, and the camera quality is really nice for the price. It shoots photos in 12 megapixel resolution, the colors look rich and punchy, the detail in the photos is nice, and the white balance is also good. Just have a look at these samples. It has an f1.8 aperture and was producing decent bokehs. The dynamic range in the photos was also nice. You've got good amount of details in both the shadows and the highlight areas. It can also shoot photos in portrait mode. The portrait mode was working well. It was giving good results most of the time. Portrait mode also works on objects. Just check out these samples. Now along with this mode, you also have a lot of other fun modes like the cutout mode, which separates you from the background in the photo. There's also spot color. I really like this mode. Here you can choose a particular color, and except that color, everything else turns black and white in the photo. There's also panorama, text scanner, and face filters. Here are a few samples shot with the front-facing 16 megapixel camera. The front camera was good. The detail, the colors, everything was fine. Coming to the low light performance, the low light performance was not that great. I'd say it was average, but still better than most of the phones. And here's a video sample shot in 1080p at 60 fps. The G6 has EIS, but it only works in resolutions up to 1080 30 fps. The video quality was good. Just check out this clip. Talking about the battery, it has a 3000 mAh battery and the battery life was okay. I was getting around 3 to 4 hours of screen on time with my kind of usage, which includes watching YouTube, slight gaming, and using social media apps. With this kind of usage, you'll easily get about a day's battery life. I wish this phone had a 4000 mAh battery. So that was my review on the Motorola's new Moto G6. It's a premium looking phone on a budget. The build quality is amazing, the display is nice, and the camera is also good. But instead of that Snapdragon 450, they should have gone with a better one. And also I felt the battery could have been a bit bigger. Okay, if they couldn't do this, at least the price should have been a bit lower. My 4+64GB model costs about 16,000 rupees. I'll just leave a link to that in the description box below. You can check it out there. So that was it for today. What do you guys think about the Moto G6? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more new awesome videos. And I'll see you in the next one.